to kick off this new YouTube channel, I'm going to give you a little bit of a background of who I am and how I ended up getting to this position where I'm talking to you right now. So my name is Mark Waters, and I've been making films for pretty much 20 years now, and it's been pretty fun. I've had a good time. And during that time, I've worked on all kinds of projects, from feature films and documentaries to episodic dramas and short films and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, so I have a strong, deep love for storytelling and filmmaking. YouTube was never really part of that journey. YouTube's always been a bit of a side platform, and as a filmmaker, as an independent filmmaker, Vimeo was always like the cool place to be. That was where you wanted to hang out. If you could get a Vimeo staff pick, it was like winning an Oscar. So that was pretty much where all of my focus was. And over the years, Vimeo just started to sort of slip. It's no longer what it used to be, and I started to spend a lot more time on YouTube. Not for filmmaking purposes, but just I found myself consuming a lot of content on YouTube. I was actually spending more time on YouTube than any other platform. And I just started to look into this, and I was like, it's really interesting. You know, I've kind of gone from Vimeo and watching lots of films and stuff on digital platforms and Netflix and all that sort of stuff. And then I found myself like consuming so much content on YouTube, and I started to question, like, why is this? Like, what has YouTube become? And from my perspective, like, YouTube was always like that silly place, you know, where there's like cat videos and stuff, like nothing serious really happened on YouTube. It was just like this random dumping space for whatever. But over the years, it's become this place of where people are just delivering a lot of really valuable stuff. So it's become like a platform for education and knowledge and wisdom. And I've learned a lot from YouTube. I've learned so much about so many different subjects just by consuming stuff on YouTube. And I've just been watching people in my field and outside of my field really develop their channels into something so much bigger than I ever thought YouTube could be. So I started to take it a little bit more seriously. So now, for the first time in my life, I'm taking YouTube seriously and I'm going all in. And over the last 12 months, I've been paying quite a lot of attention to the shift of our times. My industry, the film industry, has definitely been shrinking. Ever since COVID, it never really quite came back. There hasn't been as much work. And it just seems like everything's just getting pushed further and further down. So there's not as much shows, there's not as much films that have been made. And the people at the top are getting pushed further and further down. So it's just pushing everyone even lower and lower and lower and lower. And it's just becoming quite an unsustainable system. So it's like, for me, I never used to have to even look for work. And that's completely shifted. And I've always been someone that's had, you know, the work has always arrived at the perfect time, and I've had such a great career. That's just been on this sort of like, you know, this, if there's a graph, you just see this constant sort of like progression going up and up and up and getting better and better and better. And then in 2024, things really shifted for me. I had some of the best projects of my life, but there was just not as much. So as a father with 2 kids and a family, it really started to make me think, shit, man, like things are changing and I need to look at this pattern, need to observe it. And as a documentary filmmaker, documentaries a lot of the time is about investigating a subject, trying to understand what's happening. So I spent the last 12 months really sort of investigating this current time where we are at the moment. And it's brought me to this place where I'm starting to see that YouTube has actually become one of the most important platforms that you can really embrace in these new digital times. And when I say digital times, you know, we're well and truly in the new digital world. And I think for a long time, a lot of us, including me, was pushing against this, you know, like the whole digital social media thing. It was just like, not for me. I've never taken social media seriously. And if anything was on social media, it was my portfolio. So I always let the work speak for itself. I'd never really put myself on camera in any way. So this is a totally new thing. I started experimenting with it a little bit last year on my other channel, which I'll link up here. And yeah, this is a new channel now, a new space where I'm going to be dedicating my time to really expanding on this channel, to really expand on everything that I've been doing creatively and just everything in general. So just to give you a little bit more of an idea of the kind of stuff that I do, like I said, I've been doing this for almost 20 years, and it's been a natural progression where I got into this from a love for travel and surfing. So I'll just basically travel the world, look for waves in exotic countries, and get as far away from the norm as possible. And I was getting I was having such beautiful experiences. You know, this sort of lifestyle was completely changing my life and my worldview and my perspective of the choices that we actually have in life. And I started documenting with a camera to be able to share this with the people that I love, to be able to show that there is another way, there is a different way that we can live our lives. We don't have to be locked into these rigid ways of living, which is kind of like very systematic and very linear and quite boring, to be honest. And even though that way of living, you know, the educational system, going to university, getting a job, having a career, all that sort of stuff, it's very noble and it's been really good and it serves so many people for so long. That is no longer the case. Things have changed dramatically, and with the evolving times, you know, like AI is becoming more and more serious. It was like this thing that we kind of like thought about as this, you know, thing that was far away for so long, but now it's here. You know, it's here and it's not going anywhere. And over the next 5 to 10 years, it's said to expand beyond anything we could really imagine. We're going to see more expansion in the next 5 to 10 years than anything else we've seen in the last 100 years. So it's pretty wild. So lots of jobs are going to change and shift. And I think one of the most important things we can really do at this point is become completely adaptable to change. And I would say this has been one of my strengths, because as a filmmaker, as an independent filmmaker, as somebody who has really valued freedom, adaptability has been in my nature for as far back as I can remember. It's just, you know, it's part of me. And I think this is something we all need to kind of get used to, because like my career, like I said, there was this growing sort of line of progress, and then I've just seen it sort of like drop off. So nothing is secure, nothing is safe. And I'm not saying this to sort of create any fear and worry and all that sort of stuff. I'm saying this to inspire you to be able to look at what's going on and face it head on, because if you look close enough, there is a pattern and there is something shifting. And when you can see these patterns soon enough, you can take action that can help you sort of move with the times. And that's exactly where I am with this. So just another preface to this whole story is I have been anti personal branding, anti all that sort of stuff for so long. So for somebody that has been so sort of against putting a face on camera, I think I can talk for you people out there that are kind of feeling the same sort of thing. It can be very comfortable, the thought of putting yourself on camera, you know, the judgment, what are people going to think, what are my friends and family going to think, you know, like people don't understand this digital world enough to be able to take it seriously. But this is just something that needs to get broken through, and it's taken me 12 months. 12 months ago, I knew I had to do this, and it's taken me 12 months to get to the point where I'm actually really settling in and making this happen. And I think it's the most important thing we can do right now. If you have any sort of like pull towards doing it, if you don't have a pull towards doing it, then this just isn't for you, and you probably wouldn't be watching this video. So if you are watching this video and you're this far in, then you are probably somebody that is looking to do something similar, being able to extract your worldview, the things that you find valuable, the things that have helped you, to be able to share that and guide other people along a similar sort of path. And that's essentially what's happening here. So I'm putting a lot of attention now into my online presence. And I really don't want to use the word personal branding, even though I will have to do it just so everyone knows what I'm talking about. But my perspective around personal branding has really shifted, and I've really integrated it into my own worldview. And my worldview has been crafted from my deep interest and curiosity into understanding who we are, why we do the things that we do, and the nature of reality. And I've always asked the bigger questions, the deeper questions about life. And this has really been the framework for most of my films as well. So I've spent a long time, all my life, you know, completely immersed in these ideas, in this investigation. So even though I don't have any authority on paper that could tell you that I know anything about anything, I've had, since I finished school, 20 years of deep investigation into the understanding of who we are and why we do the things that we do. So I've got quite a strong understanding of human consciousness, psychology, human behavior, human patterns, and I've been able to build up a tool within myself to be able to observe and see things as they are, and to be able to take action based on reality. So that's going to be woven into this channel, and I might have gone a little bit off piece by going that far there, but we'll come back to that another time, maybe in another video. But coming back to the whole personal brand, personal presence thing, for me, I kind of see it more like personal branding has little to do with the digital world. It's really about knowing yourself deeply, about who you are, how you show up for your friends, your family, and the people around you, to be completely real and authentic and truthful, so that people see who you are, and you're not sort of putting on some sort of pretense, pretending that you're somebody else, trying to be a people pleaser and make people like you. This isn't what this is at all. This is about being honest, about being truthful, about sharing your particular unique worldview with an audience that might be able to take some form of value from that. And my particular thing that I'm going to be talking about here is, it will be a combination of my filmmaking process, my filmmaking life, my love for storytelling, my love for the human experience, and combining all these things together to be able to guide others find confidence and find their way in building their own personal presence online. Because like I said, I think this is going to be the focus of any kind of growth. If you have a business, if you have anything going on in your life, if you can build up your presence online, it's only going to help you along the way, because it's your reputation, it's your digital reputation. And the fact that we moved into this digital world, like it or not, it's here and it's growing. Having a digital reputation is going to be really important and fundamental moving forwards. And on this channel, I can share everything that I know about how to do this, how to frame up experiences like this. Like right now, I've just moved into the studio. It's a brand new studio. I literally walked in 3 days ago. And this is actually started off as just being a camera and lighting test, but I thought I'll just ramble at the camera for a little bit, see what happens. Maybe I'll post it, maybe I won't. I probably will, because I've got to break out of this stupid mindset of perfectionism, which I do have. We'll talk about that another time. But I basically set up the studio, set up the space, set up this angle, lit the whole thing to be able to find an aesthetic that represents who I am and how I want to show up in this digital world. So this is the kind of stuff that I have a lot of experience in. I have a lot of experience in framing and lighting and shaping light in design, designing spaces, trying to find balance within a frame, and obviously storytelling. And like I was saying in the beginning, like for me, filmmaking is a tool. I don't consider myself a filmmaker. I consider myself somebody that is completely in love with this human experience. And I feel like it's my duty to be able to explore that, to understand it and share it. And the camera, films, storytelling is my medium to be able to share that, so that it doesn't just sit with me. I can actually have a ripple effect and send it out into the world. And there may be people out there that find value in that. So that's all we're doing here online. So rather than me thinking about doing it in the way that I've always done it, by making films, I'm going to do it direct in this way. Just talking to you, be able to guide you through whatever it is that you're going through. If you're going through those mad limiting beliefs about whether or not you should do this, what are people going to say? I can help you with that. I can help guide you through all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to be showing up here in the zone. This is going to change quite a bit because it is a camera test. And I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And I'm really looking forward to every single week sitting here and just delivering some form of value, whether that be storytelling, creativity, how to write, how to light, how to shoot, and how to show up in the world authentically as yourself. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, then I'm going to be here doing this. So I think that's it. I think that's enough for today. Yeah, cool. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.